What up, bro? I ain't even gonna lie. This is a double upload post type thing. Feel me? Basically, where freaking man, I just did a double upload slash post. Yeah, basically that's what I did. Basically, that's what I'm doing right now. So basically, we just gonna be watching random. They don't even have to like just random videos. Bro. They don't even have to. It could be scary. It could be funny. It could be whatever it's called. But today we're gonna be looking at scary stuff because I mean, why not, bro? Feel me? Top scariest tops. So we just gonna look up scary stories, bro. We're gonna look up scary stories. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at these real quick. We're gonna see what they got. We can't get scared. Try not to get scared. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see who's gonna be scared first. You can't jump or you can't get scared either.
I was a 20-year-old woman who loved parties, so
Dang.
needless to say, I'd have the time of my life hanging out with my friends. And when my best friend invited me to her house in California, I ecstatically said yes, prepared my stuff, and went on a trip. But unfortunately, my parents were at work and I didn't have a car. So, since waiting for a bus ride could take grueling hours, I decided to cut corners and hitchhike for a ride. I've done it many times before, so I was experienced and relied on this tactic often for convenience purposes.
The
Two
voices
days
don't
passed, and when the third one came around,
the
I
voices don't add up,
finally
bro.
decided to take it. In the vehicle was a decent-looking man in the driver's seat, alongside his wife sitting next to him. I felt more comfortable getting a ride from a couple than with anyone else.
The
The
voices
man
don't add up,
politely
bro.
asked for my name and where I was headed, and so I disclosed the exact address of my
The voices don't
destination.
add up,
Then,
bro.
after giving them all the
They don't.
details, the couple glanced at each other and smiled, agreeing to take me there. As we drove alongside the dark asphalt road, the man kept asking me strange personal questions like, "So, I guess you don't have a boyfriend?
No, I don't.
Does that mean you've never done it with a guy before? Like, you're a virgin?"
I guess I am.
That's when you say, can you stop the car? Drop me off, I mean, if at one of those gas stations, I'll just walk there. I just walk from there. And first off, if that's your girl in the seat, I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't surprised she ain't smack you yet, nigga. Feel me? Cause like you already like, I don't know. Maybe she fine with that. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get back into
I
it.
answered the man just to make things less awkward than they already were. The questions he was asking me were questions I thought he'd never ask in front of his wife. Despite that, I shrugged it off, thinking that
Exactly.
perhaps he was only trying to make small talk. As we approached a nearby gas station, I asked if I could use the restroom, which the couple had no qualms with. While sitting on the toilet, a part of me wanted to just call a cab and abandon the rest of the ride. In the end, I figured I'd continue as my friend's place wasn't too far away. I reluctantly began making my way back to the car. When I got in, I apologized to the couple for taking too long. I felt at ease when the couple gave me no issues upon returning. We proceeded to drive off into the night, and that's when we began entering the not-so-busy highway. A few minutes later, the man abruptly pulled over to the side of the road. He then got out of the vehicle without saying a word. I sat there in silence, thinking he was simply going to check the car's engine. As I was about to ask his wife what was happening, to my surprise, the man aggressively opened my side of the door and started grabbing my shoulder with one hand and pointing a knife towards my neck with the other. "Dare to scream or
Ooh.
run away and I'll slit your throat," he whispered in my ear maniacally. I was so frightened that I couldn't move my body. As I whimpered in sheer terror, the man placed a wooden locksmith box on my head, preventing me from seeing anything or hollering out loud. I was then handcuffed and held in place by either the man or his wife as the car proceeded to accelerate down the highway. And from that moment, the first disturbing chapter of my life would manifest. I didn't know where I was, but eventually, the car stopped, and it seemed like I was being taken into a house where I was held captive. I was then led blindly to walk down into a basement, where they chained me up, and from that point on, my life would be a living hell. The
You
couple
ain't
would then
fight back?
ask me to cook and clean for them, and when it was time to eat, the man would chain me up again in the basement, where he fed me scraps, treating me like a rabid animal. I was famished. My loss of motivation and lack of pertinent nutrients often left me disoriented. As a result, my vision would go hazy, and as the couple approached me, I no longer saw them as human beings, but as monsters with distorted faces, bulging eyes, and sharp teeth. To make matters worse, the couple had the habit of placing me inside a box that resembled a coffin underneath their bed every night. Having my head locked in a box or chained up in the basement didn't make any difference. I was kidnapped to be a slave in a house far away from home. I struggled to keep my composure, desperately persuading myself that this was nothing but a horrible nightmare. However, one afternoon, as I was cleaning every corner of this tiny shelter, I noticed the creep entering the bathroom while his wife was watching TV. That was my window of opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opening where I could be free again. So, without a second thought, I ran for it.
Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
Strength as I dashed
Go,
toward
go,
the
go,
back
go, go,
door,
go, go,
making
go,
my
go,
way
go.
outside.
Help! Help! Somebody help me!
As the wind brushed my face, I had a tinge of hope. I felt as though I could make it. But it was only a matter of time before one of them got to me, and it just so happened to be the wife. She was able to catch up to me and pin me down on the ground
Dude,
before
that
the husband
fast?
came to her aid. Crying rivers of tears, I was brought back into that hellhole where the couple locked me up in a box underneath their bed for much longer. Again,
God.
it was dark and cramped, making it hard for me to breathe. So, as the couple laughed and cuddled on the bed, I suffered from immense anxiety, having convinced myself that there was no one who would ever find me and that I would die here. This went on for several years until, one day, the creep went out to buy some groceries, leaving his wife and me alone to chat. I tried to understand why they were doing this to me. After constantly prodding, I was able to discover that she was also a victim like me, and that she didn't have a choice but to play along with her husband to survive.
Hey, we can't stay here. We have to leave now while we still can.
I said. She looked around
Oh,
the house,
God.
a bit hesitant at first, but after several tense minutes, she finally agreed to escape with me. Moments
I got done a huge deal.
Years. She been there for years, and you gonna hold me down and stay with you?
later, we were
No,
both
sir.
called to the cops at a nearby gas station. The cops later arrived at the shelter, arresting the dumbfounded creep. I was fortunate to be alive, but since then, I have had a hard time sleeping on a regular bed, finding myself inside a dark wooden box to sleep in until further notice. This story was inspired by a tragic incident that happened on May 19th of 1997. A woman named Colleen Stain was hitchhiking to go to a friend's birthday party when
So this is a
man
true
named
story.
Walker and his wife Janice picked Colleen up, only to kidnap her and hold her captive for the next 7 years of her life. The animation pretty much sums up the ordeal in a nutshell on what her life was like in captivity. Here's an image of the locksmith box used on Colleen's head when the kidnapping took place. But the most chilling image of all is the infamous box Colleen slept in. Here's what it looked like. In one of Colleen's testimonies, it was said that she would often imagine she was in some kind of adventure when locked up in the box, which was one of the only ways to keep her sanity at those times.